Michael Wolff, Siege, Trump Under Fire. Embark on a behind-the-scenes journey through the chaos and divisiveness of the Trump White House in Siege, Trump Under Fire, by Michael Wolff. This book offers a fascinating examination of the disarray surrounding the Mueller investigation, growing paranoia in the White House, and Trump's tumultuous relationships with key figures such as Steve Bannon and Jared Kushner. Discover the political machinations and interpersonal strife that characterized Trump's tumultuous first 2 years in office, and the ways his administration struggled to maintain control.
Chaos in the White House. Investigative journalist Michael Wolff uncovers a dysfunctional and paranoid White House during the Mueller investigation, where staff constantly feared incrimination. Trump's behavior was erratic, and he attacked his staff members, including those defending him from the investigation. Additionally, Trump accused his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, of using his White House position to further his own financial interests. The situation in the White House resembled a medieval court about to descend into chaos. Bannon's remote influence. After being fired from the White House, Steve Bannon sought to remind Trump of his key election promises and maintain his political influence. Bannon communicated indirectly through the media, penning critical articles and giving interviews to radio shows. As a result of his remote influence, the president appointed some of Bannon's political allies, but Trump's equivocation over key pledges caused Bannon to question if he could continue to use Trump to achieve his own political objectives. Nevertheless, Bannon persisted in drip-feeding trenchant criticisms of the White House to Fox News hosts and radio shock jocks, because he knew that Trump would be listening, and quietly fuming. The Mueller investigation and Trump's anti-elite worldview. The Mueller report haunted Trump in the months before its verdict was delivered. He disliked the cultural divide it represented between the old establishment and himself. Robert Mueller, with his by-the-book profile, exemplified everything Trump was not. Trump felt represented by the anti-elite worldview of his old friend Rudy Giuliani, who channeled his personal attacks on Trump's opponents. Giuliani's pure theatricality deflected media attention from the Mueller investigation, casting Trump as an anti-establishment figure hounded by elitists who didn't respect millions of his voters. Melania and the #MeToo movement. The #MeToo movement shook Trump's White House and threatened to reveal allegations of sexual harassment and assault from 25 women. As this unfolded, Melania's marriage to Trump came under scrutiny, and it was revealed that the couple lived separate lives. Melania had to bear all the revelations about her husband, including his liaison with Stormy Daniels. While Trump's staff feared the worst, Melania remained composed and silent until she wore a jacket with the controversial phrase, "I really don't care, do you?" to a migrant children's shelter in Texas, causing confusion and speculation. Kushner's diplomacy. Jared Kushner, a lifelong Democrat and odd fit for Trump's administration, influenced Trump's shift towards more diplomatic foreign policies. Despite opposition from Steve Bannon, Kushner's advice led to a meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and the shattering of the old U.S. consensus towards North Korea. Kushner's approach sought greater engagement with allies and rivals on the world stage through diplomatic means. This change of tack signaled a move away from the aggressive, America First nationalism that Bannon had promoted. Trump and Putin, a controversial meeting. In July 2018, President Trump met Russian President Putin in Helsinki for a private meeting. This happened amidst the Mueller investigation, which suspected that the Trump campaign colluded with Russian hackers to damage Hillary Clinton's image. Despite starting with optimism, after the 2-hour meeting, Trump looked deflated while Putin appeared in the driving seat. Putin even addressed aspects of the Mueller investigation, only permitting the questioning of Russian citizens if they could question certain American citizens deemed as Russian enemies. Trump acquiesced to Putin's demands, claiming that Russia had not interfered in the 2016 elections, despite consensus back home that they had. This caused sheer fury and bewilderment amongst the American people. The nation questioned what Trump may have disclosed in private, had he given away secret information, and why he defended Russia. Despite the inquiries, Trump raged at the media and denied any wrongdoing. Bannon's frustration with Trump's 2018 campaign. In the November 2018 midterms, Trump's presidency faced a real test with the Democrats vying for control of the House of Representatives. Steve Bannon was watching from the sidelines and frustrated with the Republican campaign. Bannon thought that the Republicans weren't campaigning effectively and that the only way Trump could win the elections was through an insurgent, anti-establishment campaign with passionate volunteers. However, as Trump gave few rallies, he appeared to be going through the motions with no ferocity and anti-establishment menace of 2016. His appeal had dulled as he was no longer an outsider and was now ensconced in the White House. In contrast, the Democrats mobilized many thousands of canvassers against Trump, and as swing seats fell to them one after the other, it looked like it had paid off. On election night, as the results worsened, Trump threw an expensive barbecue in the White House, seeming to live in an alternate reality in congratulating himself on a big majority. As Bannon learned more about this party, attended by billionaire donors, he had to contain his temper. Trump had promised to drain the swamp, referring to the self-satisfied network of advisors, lobbyists, and political operatives around Washington during his 2016 campaign. Now, he was fully submerged in the swamp himself. According to Bannon, this was a path to further defeat. The Democrats won back control of the House, taking key swing seats back from the Republicans, which made things extremely difficult for Trump, now that the Democrats had legislative power. The Mueller report Anticlimax. The highly anticipated Mueller report failed to find evidence of a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russians to influence the 2016 election. This disappointed liberals who had thought that it would bring down their opponent but left Trump feeling vindicated. Some of Trump's advisors predicted that the report would completely ruin him, but it turned out to be an anticlimax. Despite his flaws and corruption, Mueller had limited the investigation's scope, and pursuing Trump too relentlessly would have seemed undemocratic. For the time being, Trump had held off his enemies.
In conclusion, Siege, Trump Under Fire, provides a compelling look at the tumult of the Trump administration, specifically during the Mueller investigation. From the ever-present paranoia that plagued White House staff to the complex relationships between key figures, this book offers an engrossing account of the reality behind the headlines. Despite Trump's ultimate survival amid numerous failed predictions of his downfall, questions remain about the true nature of his presidency and the forces that continue to shape it. No matter one's political affiliation, Siege is an informative and captivating work that sheds light on this fascinating moment in American political history.